Hey everyone, welcome to Speaking Music. Today we're going to be looking at the very basics of the piano. So like you've never touched the piano, you're starting lessons or you're thinking of it, or you're a parent who has a kid starting lessons. This class is for you just to get a basic overview. There's no reason that you should go to a class and not already know this stuff. So we're going to be looking at that right up after this. So once again, who should actually be watching this? I think that anyone who wants to start piano lessons should learn this. And at the same time, if your child is going to be learning piano lessons, you should know this. There's absolutely no reason at all that when they come home from a lesson and they want some basic instruction about how or what the instructor was actually telling them, that you as a parent shouldn't be able to just sit down and figure it out and look at the very basics and learn that for them. I know I've had so many students whose parents did not do that, and it definitely hindered the child learning things because they would forget something sometimes and go home and the parents would just be like, I don't know music, ask your teacher next week. And that is just laziness. You totally can learn this stuff. It's very basic and it's just about helping you or your kids learn. So let's jump right into it. Keyboards are set up the same. They are not very complicated. This is a 61 key, but it'd be the exact same thing if we had a 73 and 88 key. It's not really a huge deal how many keys it is, because we're going to break it down into some really easy things. First off, all keyboards are set up with a set of 2 black notes and then a set of 3 black notes. That is our entire octave. So everything is going to be based off of that. And then it just repeats. No matter how big the keyboard is, it's just going to be repeating multiples of that. Why is that important? Now we do not have to actually look at the entire keyboard as this big, unfathomable thing. It's really just broken up into little segments that are the same notes repeated over and over again. So you should be able to learn the names of these. We're going to start with 2 easy ones. We're going to start with C, which is on the left side of our 2 black notes. And then also F, which is on the left side of the 3 black notes. Those are the first 2 that we look at. And then all the white notes are our natural ones. So in music, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it restarts. So all the white notes, we're going to start on C, would go C, D, E, F, G, and then go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, continually up the entire keyboard. So that's not that difficult to learn. You can totally have a chart to print out that you just want to look at and decide, okay, here I am on the keyboard. This chart says that this note would be an A or whatever. It's going to be the same, the whole keyboard. So those are our, what is called natural notes. And then in between those, we have black notes. Those black notes are called accidentals. But all it is if it's on the right of a C, it's a C sharp. If it's on the left of a D, it's a D flat. So sometimes they'll have different names, sharp or flat. Once again, here is just a basic write-up of all the notes. And it says C sharp / D flat. It can be either of those names, but it's the exact same tone, the exact same note. So just learning where all the keys are on the keyboard is extremely important when we're playing later on. In the same way, we're going to have a basic sheet showing what our notes on the scale are for sheet music, if your child is learning sheet music. And it's really not a big deal. You just look, where is this note? If it's on this line, it's this note. If it's on this line, it's that note. Written up the whole way. Another big question I always get from usually younger children, but really from a lot of different students, is how pianos actually work and how they differ from a digital piano or a acoustic piano. So pretty much start with acoustic because that's where it started. Acoustic pianos have strings, pretty much like guitar strings, but some of them are much fatter. Some of them are much skinnier as you go up. And there's literally a hammer. And when you press down the note, hammer comes down and whacks a string. That's how we get our sound. As you hold that note down, it lifts up to a little damper. And as you press the note down, it lifts that up. When the note comes off, the damper goes down and it kills the sound. That's where the pedals come in. There's a damper pedal, usually the most right pedal on a digital keyboard. It's just whatever pedal you plug in. What that does is it lifts the damper off of the strings so that it doesn't kill that, and whatever you play continues to ring out as long as the string will actually keep vibrating. So that is pretty much how the piano works, and a digital piano just replicates that. So the few differences obviously in a digital piano is they are just digitally creating the sound, not acoustically making it. And you have some extra options. Once again, you can plug in a pedal for that damper pedal. I would suggest that for even the most basic of students because it is very helpful and you play a different way without a pedal. Also, we have a volume knob or a slider with the digital piano, which is really good for kids practicing because they can practice all the time and not annoy everyone or wake people up in the middle of the night. On top of that, there's usually a place you can plug in headphones so they can actually listen to it without making a big racket. If they're someone who's not very outgoing, this is a really good way. And if they're more shy, that they can actually play and practice without feeling extremely self-conscious about it. The last thing I think that all students should know and parents should know when they are going into classes is your finger numbers, because it is pretty much created as an easy way to communicate what finger you should play. So pretty much your thumbs are 1, pointer fingers are 2, middle fingers are 3, ring fingers are 4, and pinky fingers are 5. So starting on your thumbs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. It's not difficult, but if there's a number on top of one of your notes, usually it means that you should use that finger to play it. A lot of times kids, when they're starting out, will get their fingers all kind of bound up because they're not playing them with the right notes. And you just work off of that and you should be all set. And that's something that the parents at home can totally help out with. So for all of you teachers out there, what I would suggest is the first class that you have with a new student, especially a young student, have their parent come in and sit in the class with them. You're probably going to be going over a lot of basics like this. You're going to be setting up how you do structure, how you actually do your class. It'll make the parents of the kids much more comfortable. It should make the kids more comfortable during that first class. And after that, they don't really need to be in there, but at least they understand what's going on. It should make the rest of your classes much smoother. At least that's in my advice. I hope this is helpful for you. I do a lot of tips and tricks for musicians and for teachers, everything in between. So if you're in any of those categories, totally subscribe, hit the bell button so that you actually get all the notifications for my upcoming classes. So keep practicing and I'll see you next week.